Hello everyone, my channel is Harst at Harst. So you can subscribe to my channel directly by coming to the YouTube and ensure that you select the bell icon for that when I upload new videos you can see the notification from your side. So that is the best way to do this thing. And as well, I will request you to share with your friend so that we can make this a community. Let's learn together, share with your friends and family so that they can also learn these new things. When we keep this knowledge rotating within the community, then that is the best way to go. Okay. So without wasting time, I want us today to continue the farmers management tutorial. So last time we learned on how to create the admin middleware, which we successfully created. And so that now when you log in, so assuming that this is log out, and when you log in, you click on login, this still work and it logs in as an admin. It check if the admin is there. So it will be counting from the database and checking how many admins which are available, and then you log in as that admin with your exact data on your dashboard. Okay, so once we have finished implementing this one fully, you will see that how that one is function. So today in today's tutorial I just want us to see how we can add new users. So this admin, we can create one person already existing in our database here as this one. So we can call this one super admin. So this super admin will be able to create these other admins as users here. Okay. So right now, when you click on the user menu, we can see that it takes us to a not found page. So this URL is not existing. So what we will do, we'll copy this one. This is the URL that we will copy, and then we start implementing that step by step. Okay. First of all, we come to our web, which is found here on the root. So our route folder, which is web.php. So under here, we are going to create a new route. Actually, I'm going just to create everything at once, and then we move step by step. Okay, so the first one is adding admin. So let's use we have this URL here like that. So this is admin users. Okay, so let's just see what to do. Okay, yeah, so the first one is to create this one URL. So we are going to, let's first of all create that let's just first comment out this one to for the for other developers we can easily see. So create route for admins, we say for other admins like that, and then now we come and say route like that, get admin. So this one is admin. Then okay, let's just paste this which we had already created. Then function. Okay, so we have route admin, then we put it as a function, not as we are going to use this one. We are going to use create another new controller. We call it user controller. Okay, so we have the user controller, then class, put like that. Then we are going to create yeah, so the first one, let's call it list, or we can call it index like that. Okay, so we can create other routes for adding. So we have for creating, for we have for adding, posting, edit, update, and delete. So we can create that. So let me just create this one for now. So we have that one for create, and then we have one for delete. So let me just put this. We have this one for store, and then we have this one for deleting, destroy. So this is how we are writing those rules. So we'll see how they work. Okay. So for now, I've just used my OAI AI extension to automatically to help me assist me in automatically generating all this. So let's step by step implement this. So we are going to create this function called index in this. Before we do that, we need to ensure that the user controller exists. So for us to create, because we know very well when we go to the controller folder here, we don't have the user controller, so we have to create it. So we come to PHP artisan. So we come to PHP, okay. So make controller, instead we say make controller, and then our controller is user controller, okay. So it's going directly to the folder called controller. So when we hit enter, our users controllers is already created here. So this one exists now successfully. So we come and copy index class, and then we create that function. So we say public function, okay. Now, so we say public function index, and then we are going to return admin. We have the folder admin, which is already created here. Admin, then users, okay. Admin users, then we are going to create that index. So in this folder called admin, let's create another folder called users, okay. Let's call this folder users, and then we are going to create a blade file which is called index.blade.php. So we have how many? Yeah, so we have that one, okay. Yeah, so from our layout which you already set, we have the layout set up, then we have the content. So we have to start the content, and then we are going to, before we start content, we can use the wrapper. So we can use the div one to wrap class content wrapper. So we can use class, let me call this content wrapper, like that. And then yeah, so we can put the header, okay. So we can say we have the section, so we section header, so yeah, content header. And then we also put the container. We can use the container fluid like this. We use the container fluid, then we put div class row margin bottom, we can use 2, then a class column small 6. Yeah, so we can put this one as, let's call this one admin, okay. Administrators, like that. Then we close the div. Then we can also use I think we don't really need that, but we can just use that breadcrumb for now. We see how it will look like. If we don't like it, we can remove it. Then we can come and create a button, okay. So before we close the first div, so we can create a button. We can use class, let's use a class okay, we can say class column. Yes, use column small. Yeah, so small, but I just want something like 6, okay. Then okay, 6. Then we can put some style. We can add some style. So you can say style, and then text. Okay, we use text align. Say right. Yeah, so we align text to the right, like that. we close that bracket, we go close that tag, and then we come to say we can use href. So that one is we are going to use for creating the user. So we have the URL there. Okay, let's close that one. We don't need it for now. So we use URL, and our URL, let's come here. Okay, let's come here. Our class for create is this one. This is the URL. So we paste it here like that, and then we say add new. So that is how our button will look like. Then we can close this div. Then we can close the other div. Okay, that's okay. So we end the section there. So yeah, for now we can just leave it from there, and we try to refresh the page. Okay, so if we close that one, and then we close, we come here and refresh our page here. Yeah, something is wrong, telling us does not exist. So user controller does not exist. Let's check what we've written there. So our controller is called user controller.php. Okay, so it doesn't exist, means that we've not imported this one from this end. So let's import it as well. So we say use controller. Okay, so when you come back and refresh this page, it should be there now. Okay, so we can see, but still something is not happening because it's still not bringing this to this. Okay, we can see that it is not fetching the file there. So let's find what is the problem very fast. Let's quickly check on where our error is coming from and why we are not able, when we click the user, we are not able to redirect that. So we'll quickly open our layout folder where we created our app. I've realized we've not used the URL, so we have not linked up with the URL. But first of all, let's just find this. We can remove this, which is causing us some confusion, like for instance, this one here. So we can remove this one to remain with that. Then we save this where our dashboard is. So we can first write this one as we will change that, but we can say this is as let's say, let's call it pharmacy management system. Yeah, like that. So we can change that one later on. So when you refresh this, you were able to see that it has changed to pharmacy, then instead of asset. So we can write URL here. Okay, so this one is linking us to preload this from this CSS, and then let's also link this. So we have link href. Let's change this to URL, and then we put here public like this. Okay, then let's scroll down and see what we are lacking. There are some things that we are going to remove later on, but for now let's just leave them. Then this one also we are going to, this is where our problem was. So let's put public, yeah, like that, and then save the file. So when we come and refresh this page, yeah, so at least we are seeing that there's something that has been affected. So this is showing us that we are still not getting everything the way it's supposed to be. Let's try to remove Okay, let's make the dashboard dynamic. Actually, here I've changed this one. So this one making it better. When you come to our previous settings, we were using, let me go to app. It's under app. Okay, and in when you go to layout, with layout is somewhere here. Let's just check where we have our layout. So admin, then we have layouts down here. When you go to app, okay, and so this URL I've changed to use uniformly using URL here. So make sure you remove the assets. Previously it was like assets, which will still work, but I don't want that. So you can put URL so that to make everything dynamic and uniform. Okay. Then after that, we need to make this dashboard. Now you can see that when we come to users, you can see that things are not displaying the way they're supposed to be. So it means that something is wrong. So we just want to make this also display as it is. So when you come to app, and then you search for, you need to search for main. Okay, so let's search for main. Let's search for main like this. So then ensure you re- you remove everything, cut this thing the way it is, and then come here and the dashboard, just remove everything which are here and then paste that one. Okay, and then save. So so that we have this, then come back here and save, and then ensure that you add this after the footer. You add this yield content. Okay, so this one is what is going to uh, echo everything that we have here. So yield content. So if you don't add that one, it won't work for you. Okay, so when you come here and refresh this website, you can see that the website is still working. And when you go to user, you can see now we are able to display our index file contents which are there. All right, so we are able to see this, but still you can see add new button is not displaying well. Okay, so we need to fix that. So let's just fix that straight away. Okay, so we have columns like this one. We just need to play around with this to find where we, when we navigate, we put the pattern where we want. So here I will put like I'm going to use call MD12, that is full width, and then this one I just say text align right. Let's just refresh this and see. So you can see that the button is aligned at the right. Okay, so we don't have any worry with that. So our button is well set and our URL is well set. So what we are going next is to see how we will be able to create a table. For now, we just need to leave it the way it is, and in our next tutorial, in our next video, we are going to create, we are going to add the blade view for adding or creating new users. Okay,